On March 14th, Newton will decide the fate of a ballot question in a special election. The question asks taxpayers to override Proposition 2.5 with a permanent increase in annual taxes of $9,175,000. Here is where that money will go. The city is asking Newton residents to override Proposition 2.5 with an increase of $9,175,000 in taxes to support operating expenses in multiple areas on Question 1. This is a permanent tax increase starting on July 1, 2023 for fiscal year 2024. 75% of the override is for Newton's students. An annual influx of $4.5 million is to support student needs. This means maintaining what is currently in place: strong, challenging, and engaging academic programs, smaller elementary schools and school communities that are welcoming and inclusive, robust and meaningful mental health supports, and modern, innovative, and readily accessible technology, as well as help pay for rising costs in transportation, health insurance, and a commitment to in-district programs and out-of-district tuition rates. An annual increase of $775,000 will help pay for additional space at Horseman Elementary School. Horseman School was built in 1934, an addition was built in 1966, and a building systems replacement project was completed in 2012.
So what you'll find at Horace Mann is that it has woefully undersized classrooms, significantly undersized specials. So the library is one of the smallest, if not the smallest, in the district. Music and art, woefully undersized. Gym is missing storage, which may sound like a small thing for gym, but when all of your storage and equipment have to stay in the gym, it makes it very difficult to use.
In addition, we've got, in terms of meeting spaces and spaces to do small group work, this room that we're standing in right now, it was my office, but I opened it up so that we could have more opportunities for groups to work in. But even then, there are always three adults who are competing for this space on a daily basis to have a group, and we've got to have a coordinated schedule. That happens all over the building.
Furthermore, the school is significantly lacking in special education, student and staff support spaces, and it's lacking breakout areas and adjacencies. It doesn't flow like a 21st century school would, and it really is very difficult for the building to meet those 21st century needs.
The current population is approximately 362 students, with an increase in student population on the horizon. But the building was built for approximately 240 students, so the city is seeking support to help increase the classroom and support spaces, with an addition to and a renovation of the current building.
So the purpose of the project is to right-size those classrooms, create those small breakout areas, cluster the classrooms in grade levels to create that sense of community, sprinkle in some additional support spaces in the base building and special education spaces. And then the big piece of it is an addition in the rear of the building, which will include a cafetorium, our music. It's going to include classrooms, special education spaces, student and staff support spaces, kitchen, service area. Really the primary issue at Horace Mann, and this is what I tell everybody from a very high level, the building is about just a hair over 50,000 square feet. For a school of this size with this many students, based on state guidelines, it should be around 72,000 square feet. So it is significantly undersized.
This project will allow the community to benefit as well.
Each of our school sites has ample open area, field areas, playgrounds, opportunities for passive and active recreation. They are incredible assets to the neighborhood. They are the social center of many of our villages. So I just like to point out that when we are doing these building committee meetings, again, just like Countryside, I welcome the community and the neighborhood to join us at these meetings. There's a lot on the table to decide and a lot of opportunities that certainly benefit the schools, but also benefit the entire community.
The school will be renovated either way. It will just take longer to get it done if the override fails to pass.
Our capital pipeline will have to be stretched way out. It will take many years to address our school building projects.
The other $3.9 million the city is asking as part of the operating override is for 5 other areas. An increase in the operating budget of $1.4 million to fix Newton's streets and sidewalks and make them safer. An increase of $1 million to maintain, repair, or replace Newton's parks, fields, courts, and playgrounds. an increase of $500,000 to plant up to 8,000 trees and nurture Newton's current tree population, an increase of $500,000 to reach sustainable and climate resiliency by phasing out fossil fuels to reach carbon neutrality by 2050, and an increase of $500,000 to support senior programs and services. On Tuesday, March 14th, Newton's registered voters can decide whether to approve Question 1 for a permanent operating override of an additional $9,175,000 in taxes per year starting July 1st, 2023. More information is available on the city's website. Jen Adams, Newton News, Newton Center.